Hey everyone, Ripple here, the internet's youngest, overly critical of other people's artist, and today I'll be making a full album review of Jxve's The Dark Side Files, which is an album that dropped 23rd of July 2021, so yesterday as of filming this. It contains songs such as Bandaids, which you might have heard even if you don't really follow the guy, because there was an Instagram ad for that and the song blew up. Rightfully so, I'll be talking about that in the album review, so yeah, let's get into it.
Don't trust me, I fuck up everything I touch, don't trust me.
So track 1, Sunflower Fields. So that one, it's the introductory track. Obviously, the song is not too great, but it's simultaneously something I could see myself listening to here and there. Nothing crazy lyric-wise. One thing that I did want to mention is it's super weird and off-putting and a bad choice how he has a feature in the opening track. So, even based on the name, but as you will see later, based on the topics tackled in this album, this feels like a personal project to me, and a personal project should be personal, right? I feel like having a feature in the literal opening track is just weird and unnecessary, right? Anyway, it might just be me. Overall, it's definitely a passable intro, mostly because of the instrumental. And Jxve's part was good. I didn't like the feature. Well, I didn't like the fact that there was a feature, but I didn't like the feature's verse either. So yeah, this one song I'll give it a 6.75 because I've got some problems with the format. It's not amazing, but still pretty good. On the second track, we have a song called Self-Destruct. We have 2 features. I don't know, man, looking kind of weird so far with the features, but anyway, we have 2 features. The one who got the first verse, the female singer, Erin seems is her name. She kills it, man. She has a beautiful, soft voice. Her vocals are great, and combined with a lo-fi beat, they kind of achieve a great vibe, Next verse we have MXNTIS with an X. That seems to be the guy's name. Which the guy has really nice flowing cadence, good lyrics. That's about it. And last verse. Now, last verse is kind of confusing to me because I can't tell who is rapping it. I can't tell if it's Jxve. I think it's Jxve, but I can't tell if it's actually Jxve or if it's MXNTIS again. And if it's MXNTIS, bro, that would be 3 verses out of 3 on Jxve's song being rap/sung by other people. If that's not Jxve, then he only did the hooks. But I'm pretty sure that's Jxve, because that wouldn't make sense if it wasn't. So I'm just gonna go with that. It was actually really great. For the sake of this album, I really hope it was actually him and not MXNTIS, because that was actually my favorite verse in the song, even though both others were great as well. It had the best lyrics I'd heard so far in the song, and came with the best cadence as well, especially towards the end where he makes his voice sound like he's breaking down, really adds to the song. Hook was pretty good as well, but nothing crazy. Overall, an accurate vibe to what I'm assuming he wants to represent with it. Everyone did a great job, and assuming the last verse is actually Jxve and not MXNTIS, he did the best part in his own song, which is a good rep, considering how good the others were. So Self-Destruct gets a 7.75. Now for you, man, it was really not for me. Jxve's parts were underwhelming to say the least. Really not my taste melodically, but I don't know whether it would be fair to say that it's objectively bad. That's for you to judge, so you can go listen. I'll definitely have some links in the description. He had a bit too much reverb on his vocals as well, in my opinion. That could be intentional though, and just not something I like. Now with the feature, which of course he had a feature, Insomnia X, that was his name, and his part was horribly mixed, bad. And when you combine that with him mumble rapping, I can hardly hear what he's saying, so that's an extra minus point, I guess. I don't know. Oh, and yeah, the beat also has like pretty muddy 808s and could slightly be off with the pitch, but like that's not very easy to hear because they're pretty low volume in the mix. So yeah, that song gets a solid 4.
Yeah, I said I don't have enough Bandaids to cover all my scars. I've been falling.
Now Bandaids, the next track, that's the one I've been talking about. That's the one that y'all know if you know anything off of him, right? Bandaids, it's the song that really got him popping to the degree that he is now, as far as my understanding goes at least. It's certainly the reason why I found him and Instagram out of this. It is also one of 2 songs in here that don't have features, which is good in my opinion. It has the best flows and most catchy melodies we've seen from Jxve or anyone for that matter in this album so far. And if I were to say one thing is that the intro is like far too long because the song is only like 2 minutes 25 or something, and the intro is almost half of that, so that's kind of bad. But low key, like around 1 minute 30 mark, we hear what I assume to be a movie quote saying, "All you can do is be brave enough to get out there. You fought, you loved, you lost, it hurts," which is some real shit. Like, it's a good quote to put in the outro, even though the outro itself is too long. So yeah, great quote selection there. And around the 2 minute mark, after that quote has ended, like like a few seconds before that, the real outro rolls, I guess, which is a separate guitar melody, which itself is great. And the way he sings is just the right amount of like mumble rap flow, kinda. I know it's weird to say, but let me explain. So basically what I mean is that sometimes sad songs hit harder when the artist is saying it as if they like are so depressed they can hardly utter the words. Deep, I know, but like that's the point of this album, I guess. So yeah, Bandaids is an amazing song, jam-packed with emotional guitar melodies that alternate occasionally. Jxve got the vocals just right, and that means lyrics, flow, melodies, tone, and cadence. Just everything wonderfully done. Slightly disappointing with the 1 minute 30-second duration, excluding the outro. But honestly, the new guitar melody on the outro makes it still loop well enough to not annoy me when I'm playing the song on loop, which I do, because it's fucking amazing, and that's why it gets a 9 out of 10. Yep, 9 out of 10. Me, the strict guy, I'm giving a 9, because that song, it's amazing. It's a classic. Now moving on, we have Boxcar. Very interesting and fire beat. It's like a rage beat, like very unexpected based on the lo-fi-ish / guitar we'd heard so far in the album. Yellopain, who is the feature, did an amazing job on the hook, and both of them killed their verse. Once again though, Jxve literally had a smaller part in his own song than the features. Like, he was doing a verse in his song, almost like he's the one being just paid to do a feature or something. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so great song overall, other than the fact that Jxve has less part in his own song than the feature. Great vocal performance and beat. That's why, as a tune in general, I'll give it an 8. Now, second to last track, we have One Day. It's really smooth and replayable with a hook, catchy and very easily digestible song. There are 2 features here. Feature number 1 did a great job with the lyrics and flow, and feature number 2 was also very good and smooth with his more melodic part. The song isn't necessarily impressive in a general sense, but Jxve killed his 2 verses, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. He had 2 verses in his own song. He had a bigger part than the features. I know, unbelievable. But that aside, the features were great too. So yeah, I'll be listening to this for sure. Like, it's a great vibe, very replayable and chill and, digestible. So that one gets an 8 as well.
Look, feeling real with Willow and Grenade Perp. I've been smoking and got all my family hurt. It don't matter.
As the final track, we have the Fall of Citadel. I'm sorry, I might be fucking murdering that. That's probably some historical event that I'm too bored to look up. But yeah, the beat is like a Silos Dynasty type beat. He opens it with fast rapping, which caught me off guard because he'd been singing, not rapping, so far, and You know, that's kind of cool how he caught us off guard in the last song. Oh yeah, by the way, it's a solo track. I know, unbelievable. Anyway, the lyrics are great, and you can tell by like just hearing them that they come from the heart. He's like highlighting his dark past and how he hopes his children don't turn out like him. And then later on, he tackles kind of some pain and depression that he probably has been feeling lately as of writing that song. And yeah, I can't really say too much about this. Just listen to it. It's a good song and it's like just jam-packed with lyrics that seem to be real to me. So yeah, just listen to those, I guess, and you'll get what I'm saying. So yeah, The Fall of Citadel, I'll give it a 7.25. It's good. It's just not very replayable because it's like you can't really listen to it like when you're just chilling, but as a song in the album, no, fuck it, I'll give it a 7.5 because it serves a really good role in the album as like just a track with great lyrics and telling a story and stuff. So honestly, Jxve's album, The Dark Side Files, didn't really feel like an album to me because it only has 7 songs for a total duration of 21 minutes and a half. I didn't do the math, but I wouldn't be surprised if more than half of those 21 minutes were taken up by features. I mean, considering the topics that Jxve tackled in this album and seeing how serious he was about some things in there, I would expect him to have like at most 2 features out of 7 songs. But yeah, it's 7 features in that 7-song album. One that tackles topics like his family. That's just some insane stuff to me. But he did what he wanted to, his album after all, so his choice, right? At the end of the day, the album does sound good for the most part. Bandaids has already been out, 3.8 million views if you combine, or plays on Spotify. If you combine the OG and the remix, remains to be the clear best track in my opinion. But Boxcar was great too, and One Day as well. It only had one true skip, which was For You, but that one skip is like in a 7-song album, it's a lot worse than if there was one skip in a 12-song album, for example. Regardless, very respectable as a whole, and some of the songs off it are going into my liked songs, for sure. In general, I have problems with the format of this album and one of the songs off it, but it was definitely more good than bad. Having like 4 tracks that I'll be listening to a lot, and that's why I'll give it a 6.25 as an album.